I fell for it. Just like you probably did. Months before the Galaxy S26 Ultra launch, rumors started. A privacy display, an anti-peeping mode you can turn on for any part of the screen in any app. That idea stuck with me right away. I kept catching people staring at my phone, and I refused to use some cheap privacy film that ruins the image on a $1,300 device. So when privacy display was confirmed, I was first in line, and I was wrong. The idea is brilliant. The execution broke the screen. Here are 3 things Samsung got wrong with this display, and the last one can't be fixed. Problem 1. PWM, pulse width modulation, the invisible flicker. Every OLED display controls brightness through PWM. The screen doesn't actually get dimmer. Instead, it blinks on and off hundreds of times per second. And most people can see it, but your brain can feel it. For many users, this means eye strain, sometimes headaches, sometimes even nausea, especially at low brightness, where the dark gaps between flashes get longer and more aggressive. The Galaxy S26 Ultra runs at 480 Hz. For example, OnePlus, a phone that costs way less, runs at 2160 Hz. The IEEE standard says you need frequencies well into the kilohertz range. Samsung offers 480. On a $1,300 flagship, no DC dimming, no flicker reduction setting, nothing. Problem 2. 8-bit, the billion colors that don't exist. During the launch, Samsung said they upgraded to a 10-bit display, a billion colors. People pre-ordered based on that claim. Days later, Samsung quietly corrected themselves. It's an 8-bit panel, 16.7 million colors. That 10-bit part, that was the color processing on the chip, not the display itself. They didn't technically lie, they just said the wrong thing, very carefully. To make up for it, Samsung uses FRC, frame rate control. The pixel quickly switches between 2 similar shades, so your eye sees a color that doesn't actually exist on the panel. In other words, another layer of flickering. On top of PWM brightness flickers, color flickers, both at the same time. Meanwhile, other phones ship with true 10-bit panels, native. Real. And here's what should really bother you. Samsung Display, that's Samsung's own company, makes true 10-bit OLED panels, even for iPhone, and sells them to Apple. Samsung makes a better screen for its competitor than it puts in its own flagship. But the 8-bit story is nothing compared to what they did to the actual pixels. Problem 3. The new pixel structure. It's like Pentile's ghost. To make privacy display work, Samsung completely redesigned the panel. The old diamond pentile layout gone. The S26 Ultra uses a new square layout. It has 2 types of subpixels, wide angle and narrow angle. When privacy display is on, the wide angle pixels shut off. That limits what people next to you can see. This new structure hurts image quality, even when privacy display is completely off. Look at macro shots of the S26 Ultra next to the S25 Ultra. You'll see fuzzy text, visible grain, color edges around letters. Users describe it as oily or shimmering, especially with the white text on dark backgrounds. People on Samsung's own forum say it reminds them of the old Pentile problems from the mid-2010s. Back then, uneven pixel grid bothered some people's eyes. Half of the S26 Ultra's pixels are round. That creates an irregular pattern, and some people's eyes physically react to it. This one of the worst flagship displays in recent years. And certainly the worst Samsung has ever put on a phone compared to the competition. The directional pixels create changing contrast patterns. It strains your eyes, like staring at a badly set up 3D screen. This is a hardware issue. No software update will ever fix it. 3 layers of flickering hit your eyes at once: PWM, FRC, and uneven pixel grid. Each one alone you can deal with it. All three together, people are getting headaches within 15 minutes. So many users switched back to the S25 Ultra. All symptoms went away within a day. Samsung is now offering up to $250 in discounts to users who wants to return the phone, just to stop them from walking away completely. This don't fix the problem. The problem isn't the hardware, but they reduce the discomfort, and I'll explain why each one actually works. Step 1. Switch to light mode. On an OLED screen, dark mode means most pixels are off. White text burns at full brightness. Your eyes constantly jump between total black and bright white. And PWM makes that contrast gap even more painful. Light mode evens things out. More pixels are active. That means higher average brightness across the panel. And at higher brightness, PWM gets weaker, because the pixels spend less time in the off state. Step 2. Turn hardware brightness up, then turn on extra dim. Push the display's real brightness higher. That reduces the flicker. Then use extra dim. You'll find it in accessibility settings. It lowers the image brightness through software, without touching the actual backlight. So the pixels are physically brighter, less flickering, but the picture looks dimmer, more comfortable, just best combo you can do on this phone. Step 3. Turn on Eye Comfort Shield. This shifts the color temperature warmer. It cuts some of the blue spectrum. Now science says blue light filters don't actually reduce eye strain. A big Cochrane review of 17 clinical trials found no real effect. But that's not why this works here. On the S26 Ultra, the warm filter softens the contrast. It reduces the sharpness that the new pixel structure creates. Harsh transitions, less strain. It helps, not because of blue light, but because it takes the edge of everything else. After these 3 changes, the phone is usable. But if you're coming from an S24 Ultra or S25 Ultra, you will feel the difference. And it's not in favor on the new flagship. Samsung homework for the S27 Ultra is nearly impossible, but it's not optional. Fix PWM, push it into the kilohertz range like every competitor already has. Upgrade to real 10-bit, not FRC simulation, and rework privacy display, so it doesn't ruin the image for the person who actually owns the phone. Which generation gets there? Nobody knows. What it does to the price? A mystery. But one thing is clear right now. Samsung sold millions of S26 Ultra by making privacy display the headline feature. Turns out the headline feature is the headline flaw. And the price you pay isn't just $1,300, it's your eyes. Thanks for watching, subscribe to the channel and save your eyes. Goodbye.